Welcome back to Indie Cult Horror. This month we have a really special interview. I guess I say they're all special, but to me they were. And I hope they are to you too. But the reason this one's special is because this is someone that definitely doesn't do a lot of interviews. And it was really exciting for me that he said yes. So if you're a fan of indie cult films, then you should know Frank Henenlotter, the creator of the Basket Case films and Frankenhooker and Brain Damage and just the most out there fun horror films you can find, and extremely independently made, and it is everything that cult films should be. They're just absurd, but they keep you engaged, and they make you laugh, and they make you cringe, and they have scares, gore, all the good stuff. So I haven't actually gotten to meet Frank Henenlotter. I have seen him at conventions, but I haven't met him. He's a little elusive. But I did get to meet and interview Kevin Van Hentenryck. Now, he's in most of Henenlotter's films, and he is the star of the Basket Case trilogy, which excitingly has some new Blu-ray release by Arrow, and looking forward to that. But right now I want to show you this interview where he talks to me about making Basket Case and the legacy of those films. Basket Case, really quickly, is the story of conjoined twins that are separated later in life and much later seek vengeance against those who separated them. It's the story of Dwayne and his brother Belial, who lives in a basket, going out and finding those people to get their revenge. It takes place in the seediest, nastiest parts of New York City during the seediest times of New York City. It's 1982. It took a couple years, I think, to make, so we're talking late 70s, early 80s for this footage. It's just a lot of fun, especially if you're someone who likes trashy movies from New York. There's a lot here to offer. But I think you should really enjoy Basket Case if you haven't seen it. And if you have seen it, check out this interview. I hope you enjoy it. And I hope if you haven't seen the film, seeing this interview will make you want to go out and find it. Basket Case is a lot of fun. Frank Henenlotter films are great. They are the sleaziest, trashiest, most fun you're going to find in the horror genre. And I highly recommend him. So here is my interview with Kevin Van Hentenryck.
Get the basket in there.
You want to do another one?
Yeah, you want to?
Yep.
Cool. What? Do another shot.
1 second. Maria's coming. I always want to check for something up here and smell it. That's right. That's right. The bar scene is there.
All right. If you could just, just say hi, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Kevin Van Hentenryck of Basket Case, Basket Case 2, and Basket Case 3.
Did you work on any film or acting type jobs before the Basket Case movies, or was that just your introduction?
No, I did some other work, industrial films, a couple of shorts, and a lot of theater before that.
How did you get involved with Frank Henenlotter?
I was going out with a girl, Ilsa Palados, who also plays the social worker with the glasses in Basket Case, and she knew him and was working with him, and she suggested I come down and meet him, and I said okay. He was using friends who were not experienced, not actors. You know, they'd be holding light one minute, acting the next, and not getting good results. And I was always on his case to use student actors. You know, get better results, they'll do it just for the experience. And I did 3 parts in a previous to basket case film of his called Slash of the Night, a comedy about circumcision. And he liked my work and really wrote basket case for me.
So what did you think when you looked at the script? What was your first reaction to that?
Oh, I loved it, of course. I loved it. It was too good to pass up. I had already given up acting in favor of stone carving at that point, but it was too good not to.
So what was the filming, the actual filming experience like? Because I know it was kind of start and stop, and there's like lots of...
Yeah, we filmed over the course of almost a year, and we'd film for a while and then run out of money, and he'd put a rough assemblage together and show that to someone to get some more money, and then film some more. And I mean, there were weekends where we would only film half a day on Saturday because there was no money for the crew for lunch, you know. How you doing?
What was it like working with so much effects, even on a smaller budget? Just
You talking specifically about the first one, or?
I mean, the first one's first. I mean, like working with all the blood and
yeah,
the props of blood.
The effects in the first one were pretty minimal and not that difficult to deal with. Blood and, you know, getting hung from the sign and stuff. But something like this one, for example, this is one of the animatronic Belials. So it's very heavy. It's full of machines and servos and wires and cables. And so it's actually not attached to me. It's attached to a pole on a wheeled dolly. And I stood next to it. I'm hiding the post, and they attached me. And then they did this while they lit the room. When the room was lit, they wheeled me into the hot spot and did the shot. But it took hours to do that.
Okay, so with the budgetary restraints and your start and stop schedule, were you able to enjoy working on
Oh
the
yeah,
first
we
film?
had a great time. We had a great time doing it. The great backstage story is we built some of the sets, the hotel specifically, in Uji's loft. Uji was Ilse's ex-husband, and so we'd need like a door or a toilet or something, and we'd all pile in Edgar's van and drive around the East Village. So we found what we needed, and we bring it back and build it. I know you.
I think you kind of just
Okay.
made your point. It gets a little disjointed sometimes. I know, it's okay. Now, when they made the actual Belial for the first movie, did they use a mold of your face to make
Yes,
it?
yes, yeah.
What was that process like?
Oh, it's messy. It's molding and casting and rubber and all that stuff. It's messy and uncomfortable, but produces good results.
When the first film was done, finally, and everything was put together, you had all these problems with distribution. It took forever for the movie to get out.
Yeah.
And then it finally kind of hit in like an underground, almost kind of seedy exploitation house kind of film. And then it had this kind of odd success about it. How did that feel, and going to see it in those kind of places? What was that like?
Oh, it was really neat. It's really neat because we never, we always figured it would be some obscure thing that would ultimately disappear. And to actually pull it off was really wonderful.
It's right there.
How you doing?
There was a resurgence of interest once it came out on VHS, because it was one of the first kind of horror movies out there
Yeah.
in video.
Yeah.
Was it kind of weird? Was it like kind of happening all over again when that happened?
Yeah. And each time it was sold to a new market, and it ran for quite a long time at the Waverly. We have the second longest midnight show run after Rocky Horror Picture Show, and that was fun. I actually went and saw it, because in those days, then I had short hair and a big mustache, and nobody recognized me, so I stood in line at the Waverly Theater and was able to watch it. And the audience was better than the film.
when the time came to make sequels, first off, did you ever think you were going to get to make a sequel for this movie?
People were, as soon as it became successful, people were on his case to make a sequel. And the fact that he was so against it, you knew eventually he would.
Right.
You just had to find the right situation. How you doing?
How strange was that, kind of going from kind of out of your pocket money from the first one to having a little bit of room with the just kind of having an actual set and having more props?
It was nice. It was nice to have a budget, even though it was low budget. It was nice. Unfortunately, the second film that I signed on for, Frank's idea for this was to use real freaks, a la the 1931-32 film Freaks, and that sense of humor combined with that sort of visuals, I thought would make a really cool film, and that's really what I signed on for. And the suits, I mean, the minute they heard that, they said, "Oh no, we can't do that." Freaks' rights, or I don't know. They freaked. So it ended up as you saw it.
How did you feel about the sequels once they?
But I have to say, there's a lot of people that like the second, third one even better, and hate for me to say that. So I'm sorry.
So the first one's still your favorite?
Yeah.
Was it, aside from the effects making it more complicated, working on a bigger budget movie, was it odd kind of having any limitations or anything like this? Because now you guys had some backers going into the film. Aside from the change in concept, was that kind of over your shoulder at any time?
Yeah. There were times where it interfered, definitely. For example, the beginning of the third film, the bean counters have some kind of formula. If you do X number of pages a day, you have X number of minutes, and they determined at the end of the first week of shooting of the third film that we were ahead, and they cut a scene. They cut a really nice scene. And the last week of filming, they realized that we were short, and Frank had to write, because by then the location was gone and the opportunity had passed for the first scene. So Frank had to overnight write a scene, which we hastily inserted into the schedule and did, and it turned out all right. That's the scene after we kill and destroy the police station, and I run down the hill talking about the shoe store and discover he's bleeding. That scene was the made-up scene.
How do you feel about the reaction the audiences had to the movie? There was some.
I'm continually amazed and pleased, and it's wonderful.
I've heard that there were some kind of, like, Basket Case was almost on like a video nasties kind of list too. That it was kind of like a video nasties list, like it was too gory or considered too violent. Ever affected?
Yeah.
What kind of director is Frank Henenlotter to work with?
He's fun. Frank is like a walking, living museum of the genre lore. When I first met him, I was telling him about a film I saw when I was a kid, and I was describing it. It's these aliens with big heads, and they stick their claws in you and inject alcohol into you to kill you. I can't remember the title, but in the end of the film is all the kids in their cars circle the aliens and the headlights kill them. And he knew immediately not only the name of the film and who directed it and who was in it, but was able to tell you odd stories about the making of it and stuff. He's like incredible.
Was he as laid back on the set as he is in person?
Yeah, he is. He's not prone to getting real frantic. Doesn't get mad and scream at people.
Were you given room to kind of improvise at any point?
Yeah. He likes to take care of the directing part and wants the actors to do their stuff. There are times when he wants something specific, and he's not afraid to do that, or even on occasion give you line readings. In the third film, where the girl is telling me about how I should be myself or something like that, and I say, really? That was Frank's line reading. He wanted it very specific about that. I wanted to do that another way, and he was very specific about how he wanted me to do that, and the timing, and the sound of it. And now that you see it, I see why. How you doing?
How are you?
I'm good. Yourself?
After making Basket Case and even with the sequels, had you had offers to make other horror movies?
No, because I had already given up acting in favor of sculpture, so I really didn't pursue it at all. Although it seems to be coming around by itself automatically now. Yeah, I did. I have a small part in this, and they're already talking about a sequel. And I just did a comedy takeoff on Texas Chainsaw Massacres, the short film, which will be out next year. So you should take this with you.
Thank you.
So
what
yeah,
changed your
and I've
mind?
done a lot of theater over the years, up in the Woodstock area.
What changed your mind then about going back and doing some more movies?
You are. What? Sorry?
What changed your mind then to do some more films?
I miss it. I enjoy it. You know, the business is so screwed up. You know, I tend to say, you know, I'm not doing that. I'm not fussing with that. But I miss it. I enjoy acting.
Were you a fan of horror films beforehand?
Oh yeah. The older ones especially. You know.
So, would you do another Basket Case? Because I know that they always ask Frank Henenlotter that. Would you do it if they were going to make another one?
I wrote a treatment for a fourth one, very different, that would resolve the problem with the second two. All I need is a couple of million and we'll get started.
So what does it feel like being at these kind of things? Like being at a convention, sitting behind a table all day, and people coming up all day long going, oh, I recognize you.
It's a lot of fun. I don't do a lot of them. You know, if I did it every weekend, it would be a grind. I don't do a lot of them, and I enjoy it. You know, I get to meet a lot of really cool people and stuff. Excuse me. Hey!
So, now that, you know, aside from Part 4, are there any other dream projects, anything else that you'd really love to do?
Sculpture, yeah. I'm really focused on sculpture. I wouldn't mind doing a remake of the Frankenstein, but there's already been dozens of them, you know, so it doesn't seem to make sense. My main focus now is stone carving. Did you get a shot of this, by the way?
I'll get a shot right here.
Yeah. This is my main focus now.
What's the appeal of stone cutting?
Sorry?
What's the appeal of stone cutting?
Well, for one, the material. This actual object, not some theoretical geological foundation somewhere, but this material is hundreds of thousands of years old. It's incredibly ancient compared to humans, and it has the ability to travel through time in a way that humans can't even imagine. Something I make in this object, in this material, will be around tens of thousands of years, possibly, you know, barring catastrophe or intentional destruction. And that just blows me away. And I like it. I feel good at it. I enjoy it immensely.
Anything else you'd like to add?
I don't know. I
I put you on the spot. Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Oh, my pleasure.
Good chance.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for watching again. This has been Indie Cult Horror, and I hope to see you soon again with yet another interview with one of the great people behind the camera or in front of the camera of some of our favorite indie, cult, and horror films. See you next time.